John Quackenbush, what's up, man? I haven't seen John's name in quite some time. He's been around our industry for for a long, long time, so I'm very familiar. Good to see him posting a question here. He says, "What is the best layout or content for Service City pages? If businesses offer or if business offers several services, you do a page for each service for each city? No, not absolutely not. That is inefficient, and that is an old method for local SEO that I highly suggest people not do anymore because it creates crawl resistance, over redundancy, duplication. It lowers the site quality score. Things like that were specifically addressed in the helpful content update. Every product or service times every city, having a separate page for that is completely unnecessary. That is an old and outdated SEO tactic for local SEO because Google is way smarter than it used to be. It is no longer a keyword-based algorithm. It is an entity-based algorithm. And Google has a large language model fully integrated into the search algorithm. Do you think that we need to hammer Google over the head with keyword plus city for every keyword plus every city within a service area service area radius? No, we all used to have to do that, and I hated it, but we all did it as local SEOs because that's how we used to get results. We don't need to do that anymore. You only need one page for every service or product and one page for every location in most cases. In some cases, if you have very distinct service categories, it may make sense to make a separate location page for each of the primary service categories. But in most cases, you can get away with one location page and one service page for every service and for every location. And you associate the pages through internal linking so that you don't have to have duplication and redundancy that will hurt the performance of the site now. It does not help because it's again, the helpful content update addressed that. Why create more? We should be building sites to be efficient for Google to crawl them efficiently. And also we should be building sites to compel a human visitor to take some sort of an action. And so what I always talk about in the mastermind now, and I teach, is that Google for local SEO, all we need to optimize for Google now are the main optimization elements of the page: URL, titles, headings, subheadings, and internal links. That's it. There's five main optimization elements of any page. URL, that's the starting point. That's how Google found the page to begin with. That's always the first touch point, is the URL. Then there's the titles, which includes the SEO title and the page or post title, which is the H1. So the SEO title and the H1 are titles. Then we have headings, which are H2s. And we have subheadings, which are H3s, 4s, 5s, etc. And then we have internal links. If we optimize those elements of a page, that's all we need to do for Google as it relates to local. Then the copy between those headings, subheadings, etc., the text should be optimized to convert the visitor, the human, into whatever conversion goal it is that you want them to take, right? So we should be focusing on conversion rate optimization for the copy between the headings, and the headings and subheadings, etc., should be optimized for search. And if we do that, now it's the most efficient way to build local sites right now, because now we're optimizing the pages for search, optimizing the copy for conversions, and we have significantly less pages than we would have 3 or 4 years ago when we would have done keyword plus city for every keyword plus every city. Now we need one page for every service or product and one page for every location, and we associate them through internal linking. Within the service pages, you're going to have an element block that lists and links to every one of the locations in which that service is available. So all the pages on the site that you have, for one for each location, you're going to have a block within the main content body of the service page or product page, whatever, that's going to have an H2 statement, is what I recommend, an H2 heading that introduces that element block that says this product or service is available in these service areas or these locations, right? And then you have what I like to do is use H3 links. So the anchor text is an H3 tag, which means it's weighted more significantly, weighted heavier by Google than just a regular contextual link. And remember, guys, headings are H2s, subheadings are H3s, 4s, and 5s. Well, if you understand how the proper use of headings and subheadings are, headings should support the title, right? Subheadings should support their respective headings. So H3s that are now referencing the locations in which that service is available with an H2 statement that says this product or service is available in the following areas or locations. Then you have H3s that they're going to link to those specific location pages, right? Then on the location pages, you're going to have an H2 statement that says these are the services available in this city, whatever that city term is. And then there's going to be H3s that are going to list and link to the service pages. So it is a reciprocal link from every service page links to every single location page that is available in that service is, excuse me, that service is available to. Then on every location page, you have the internal link block that links to all of the services that are available in that at that location or in that area. Does that make sense? So through internal linking, you've reduced all that redundancy and duplication and the need for us to do all the spammy shit that we've done as local SEOs, which is where we would repeat the same damn thing over and over and over again and have dozens and dozens of pages saying the same fucking thing. I hated doing that. But we all did that as part of local SEO because that's what we had to do previously. Now we don't have to do that anymore, guys. If you guys think Google's large language model isn't smart enough to be able to determine what a site is about through internal links, and that you still have to have keyword plus city for every keyword plus every city on the site, then you are seriously underestimating what the large language models do. Okay. And that's why I'm saying, guys, it's a completely different algorithm now. The way that we should optimize for local search, I can't speak on any other type of optimization methods. When it comes to local SEO, especially service area businesses, I'm telling you, this is by far the most efficient way to build sites. You will have less content, less pages, less link building targets. It reduces your overhead for achieving results because you will have less link building targets. It's just way more efficient. Google rewards it because it's a more efficient site. So again, there is no real perfect layout except for this. What I talk about page structure and site structure and internal linking. And page structure helps you determine your overall site structure and your internal linking scheme. So that's why in my audits, I always start with on-page optimization analysis for the self-hosted site. It always starts with page structure analysis first, because through optimizing individual pages for the products products or services and or locations on the site, that's going to help determine what the overall site architecture should be and the internal linking scheme. So that's why when I talk about optimizing for local, there's three main points that we should be optimizing for the self-hosted site for local search is page structure, site structure, and internal linking. But site structure and internal linking, I think, are basically parallels as priority number two. Like, in other words, page structure is number one because that's what Google ranks for search queries, guys. Google doesn't rank websites for search queries. It ranks web pages. But the helpful content update means that the overall quality score of the site has a significant influence on a page's ability to rank. So we start with page structure and optimizing at the page level first, but then through that, we determine the site structure and the internal linking, which are equally as important, in my opinion, as item number two. Okay, and all of that will help to build more efficient sites with less redundancy, less duplication, less crawl resistance, so less crawl errors. And Cecilia, a lot of you guys know who Cecilia Hannaf is, but she was the one that mentioned crawl resistance, and I love that term because that's another thing. Like, scan your sites with a website crawler, like Web Auditor, Sitebulb, SERPstat. Like, you can go to AppSumo and find web crawlers right now, website crawlers and all of that, and crawl the site and look for technical SEO errors, redirects, 404s, broken links, things like that. Those are all points of crawl resistance. Every one of those is a demerit point that adds to lowering the helpful content update, basically site quality score. And so technical SEO has had kind of a resurgence in local SEO is something that I think is critically important. Proper use of HTML markup within pages. Instead of using HTML markup for styling elements, use HTML markup. So headings, tags, headings, right? Proper use of headings and subheadings. Instead of using them to style text within the page, use it specifically to convey to Google what the page is about. So all of those things are about how to optimize for local search, okay? And I 100% agree with you, John. I didn't for years. I mean, I know a lot of SEOs that would do what you're talking about here, which is they would create, service plus city pages and it would be the same content on every page. The only thing that would change out was the location modifier. I never did that. Even when I did service times city for every service times every city, which I did for many years too, because that's what we all had to do, I would still vary the content on every page. No kidding. Because I always thought that was going to get smacked down. And it really didn't for a very, very long time. But right now, doing anything like that at all is just it's not a good way to build a site because it's not very efficient. And it's clear when testing that the sites now with kind of associating through internal links is a much more efficient way to build because you need less content, less pages. It creates less link building targets, which means the links that you do build to the site are going to be more effective because they're not being spread too thin. Like the link equity is not being diluted too much across too many inner pages. That's clear.